Essava, this is LaserBolt, and welcome to today's video. One of the toughest challenges you're going to have in Minecraft Dungeons is knowing what gear to discard, what gear to keep. And primarily this is going to boil down into what type of item you have and also what type of enchantments. Today I decided to go through every single enchantment that there's available in the game and give you guys what are the best enchantments to look for your armor, for your weapon, and for your bow. So without further ado, guys, let's roll into the video and talk about that. Now, I do want to remind you guys, we stream daily on Twitch. If you haven't had a chance to stop by and check us out, definitely do so. The link is down below in the description. I will see you guys over there. And trust me when I tell you guys are going to love it. All right, so we're going to get started with the armor. Now, the armor is one of the hardest ones, and it's also one of the most simplistic ones to actually figure out because there are multiple builds you can put together in this game, and some enchantments are going to synergize better with certain builds. So what I decided to do is give you guys the enchantments that work across the board with almost any other build, and then later down the road I am going to be working builds specifically for certain builds, like for example a tanky build, a soul build, a solo build. So also some will synergize better than other ones, but we're going to talk about the ones that I believe are the best ones right now, or tier S. Alright, so when you get a gear, guys, you're going to get 3 columns. I'm pretty sure the majority of you guys already know this. And these 3 columns are going to ask you to pick one of each individual enchantments. Now, which enchantment should you pick and which one you should go for? I have seen a lot of posts of that, and that's why I'm trying to clear this out. So let's start off with one of my personal favorites, which is COWARDICE. Now, COWARDICE is a very effective enchantment. The reason why this enchantment is so good is because while you have full HP, you're going to be doing increased range and increased melee damage. This stacks all the way up to 40%. Now, if you do have a build that allows you to keep your health out active 100% of the time, like the God Mode build that I have on the channel, which I'll link down below in the description, this is going to be giving you that 40% increase every single time, and definitely by far one of the best enchantments out there. The next enchantment I want to talk to you guys about is called Final Shout. Now, what this one does is whenever your health drops below 25%, all your artifacts are used ignoring cooldown periods. Now, at a glance, this doesn't seem too OP, but after you played with it and tested it out, it does work really effective. So let's say you guys have the totem that actually heals, right? Let's say you're about to go down, you're at 30%, and you pop the totem. When this activates and you hit that below that 25%, you're going to get double the totem, and the totems actually stack up. So you're going to be able to get that health really, really fast. In addition to that, you're also going to be proccing the 2 different sets of artifacts that you have equipped in your gear, and that is just going to make it super OP. Talking about artifacts, I will have the best artifact guide video coming shortly, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that to know exactly what are the best artifacts and why they are and why you should have them in your inventory. But Final Shot works really good, and this is going to go up to 8 seconds. So up to every 8th second, you're going to be able to practice over and over. Now, if you have a build that allows you to go below 25% constantly, and you're able to practice over, it's going to be super OP. There's definitely one you guys should heavily consider. The next one I want to talk to you guys is called Thorns. Now, I love this one, and this is one that I don't see a lot of people using or paying too much attention to, and that is because I don't know why they don't. So it says whenever you take damage, you deal damage back to the attacker. That's going to be 200% damage returned. Now, this is really effective because, as you guys know, in Minecraft Dungeons, you get swarmed a lot by enemies. A lot of enemies are going to come together, and when they start swarming you, now if you have other enchantments that also deal extra damage when you're getting attacked or when you're getting hit, these are going to be stacking up, and you're going to be doing a ton of damage. Thorns is definitely one. If you guys haven't considered it, you guys should definitely consider it. The next one we're going to be taking a look at is called Cooldown, which reduces the cooldown time between using your artifacts. So this is going to allow you guys to reduce your cooldown all the way to negative 27%. Now, I have a build where you have automatic, it's like unlimited artifacts, guys. So I'm going to be sharing that build with you guys shortly, but this one in particular is part of that build. Cooldown is really, really good. It's going to reduce the cooldown time to negative 27, and it's going to allow you to use your artifacts very frequently. Now, depending which artifacts you have and what type of build you have, this is going to be extremely, extremely powerful, and one you guys should consider. The next thing I want to talk to you guys is Potion Barrier. Now, at glance, this doesn't look good. You're like, all right, whenever you use a healing potion, you take 90% damage for a short duration. And you're thinking like, how's that even beneficial? I'm already using a potion. Why is that even going to be working, and I'm not even going to be proccing this a lot? It doesn't look good, right? But when paired with cooldown, and paired also with the one I mentioned, which is the final shot, and paired with this one, it gives you a ton of synergy due to the fact that you're going to be proccing this over and over and over, allowing you to get that 90% damage for a short period of time almost constantly. So it is extremely OP. It just depends what type of build you're using. Now, of course, once you level this up to level 3, it's going to give you a 9-second duration. So it's going to last quite often, almost 10 seconds. So it's definitely one that you guys should consider. The next one I want to talk to you guys is called Protection. And this is going to reduce the damage taken. This is actually pretty good, and it works really effective with certain builds. You're going to be able to get this all the way to negative 15 damage taken. So it's just going to allow you to absorb a little bit more and helping you with those tanky builds. If you're trying to work on a tank build, this is definitely one that you guys should have in your inventory. And that pretty much takes care of the armor. Now let's go into our bows and talk about the ones I believe are the best enchantments for the bow. Alright, so let's start off with the first one called the Fuse Shot. What this does is every few shots has a time charge that explodes 1 second after impact, dealing 100% damage to nearby mobs. This is actually extremely effective. If you level this up, you're going to be getting it to every third shot. Now remember, if you use your harpooning bow, you'd actually reduce that and bring that down, I believe, to every second shot. So this is actually really, really good and extremely OP. Definitely one of the best enchantments for a bow. The next one I want to talk to you guys is Poison Cloud. Now, a lot of people don't give this enough credit. This is actually by far one of the best and most effective ones to use when you're trying to clear mobs. The problem people don't really use this one well is because they're not pre-firing their shots. You want to pre-fire to actually cause damage and get these to work. Now, Poison Cloud has a 30% chance to summon a poison cloud that deals damage to enemies in every area for 3 seconds. Now, the cool thing about this is that once you hit the target, it's going to spread around and also damages the enemies that are also around them, which makes it really good for out control. And if you shoot this before you hit the mob, by the time you get there, the mob is pretty much one shot. You're able to upgrade all the way this to tier number 3, and that's going to increase the damage to 532 damage per second. Really, really powerful, really OP. Definitely one you guys should consider and have in your inventory. The next one I want to talk to you guys is called Infinity, and it has a chance to immediately replenish your arrows after shooting. This pretty much makes you guys have unlimited arrows. It's just going to be extremely powerful, extremely potent, and you're going to be able to upgrade this all the way to 48% chance to trigger. If paired with the right enchantments, you're going to have indefinite amounts of arrows, and it's just going to make content super duper easy for you guys because you're never going to have to be running out of arrows. You can just become a arrow master. The next one I want to talk to you guys is called MULTISHOT, and what this does, it says it grants a chance to fire 5 arrows at once. Really important, really OP. I actually have it on my bow, and it makes my bow extremely, extremely powerful. You're going to be able to level this up all the way to level 3. It's going to give you a 40 chance to actually trigger. Remember, if you have this with the Infinity Bow, you have the 48 of never running out of arrows, the 40 of the multi-shot. You're just going to be shooting so many arrows, the enemies are not going to know what to do with it. The next one we're taking a look at is called Ricochet. This is actually really powerful, guys. If you use this with the Poisonous Cloud, oh my goodness, this thing is amazing. Really good for crowd control. It has a small chance for arrows to ricochet off mobs. If you're able to level this up, you're able to trigger this up to 60% chance. Really powerful, really potent, paired with the right arrow and with the right enchantments. This is a monster, definitely one to consider. The last one for the arrows, guys, I want to talk to you guys is called Piercing. Firing arrows sometimes gain the piercing effect, which allows them to fly through multiple mobs. Really effective. The only problem I have with this one is that if you're not running something like the the 5-shot one or the multi-shot, this doesn't become too valuable because sometimes the enemies don't just line up. They're kind of spread around like in a circular formation. But piercing with ricocheting or with the multi-shot is extremely, extremely powerful. And if you level this up all the way to level 3, every arrow is going to have piercing, which makes it even more powerful with all the enchantments. That pretty much covers the bows, guys. Now let's take a look at the weapons. We're going to start off with the first ones, which is my personal favorite. I'm actually going to go down the list. I believe the first ones I'm going to mention, like the first 5 or 6 that I'm going to mention, I believe are the best ones. And then the other ones I'm going to mention them because I believe they deserve to be in here. So let's start off with the first one, which is called Radiance. This one has a 20% chance to spawn a circular area that heals all allies within. It's going to heal you as well. What makes this really, really powerful is the fact that if you're running this in a tank build, you're almost always going to be full health. And this one stacks up all the way to 503 health healing once you fully upgrade it. But it's extremely, extremely powerful, and one you definitely need to have, especially if you're doing a tank build or a God mode build. The next one I want to talk to you guys is called Swirling. The last attack in the combo performs a swirling attack that damages nearby enemies. Really effective, guys. Really effective. It's going to help you clear a ton of ads, guys. Really powerful. If you level this up to level 3, it's going to deal 1,545 damage. Really powerful, guys. Definitely one of the enchantments that the majority of you guys should be running, especially if you're running melee builds. Really, really powerful. The next one I got to talk to you guys about is personally one of my favorite ones, which is called Leeching. It says defeating a mob heals you a small portion of the mob's max health. Really important because once run with a perfect build, Leeching is going to be a lifesaver, guys. Since you're going to be killing a lot of people, you're definitely going to want to make sure you pair this one up. You're going to be able to max this out all the way to level 3, 80% of the mob max health. It's going to be giving you a ton, especially when you're killing the higher level enemies. It's going to be extremely important, and it's definitely going to be keeping you alive, so highly recommend you guys definitely consider picking up Leeching. The next one we want to talk about is called Rampaging, and says after defeating a mob, there is a 10% chance to increase your attack speed by plus 50 for a short period of time. Now that sounds really OP, but what you're able to do this, once you're able to upgrade it all to level 3, it's going to give you a duration of 15 seconds. So you're going to be able to be proccing this constantly over and over and over. It's going to allow you to make you super fast, especially paired with the right combo. You're going to be swinging that sword or swinging those the gauntlets or whatever it is that you have equipped a lot faster than you normally would, doing a ton more damage. Rampaging is definitely really big in my list. The next one I want to mention, which I feel doesn't get a lot of love, is Critical Hit. Critical Hit gives you a chance to inflict a critical hit dealt in triple damage. Now, that is amazing, guys. If you're not running critical hits, I don't know what's wrong with you guys, especially if you have the option to be picking this up, because this actually stacks up. If you're running like a mushroom or you're running any artifact that actually gives you a boost, this is definitely going to be the one that's going to put you over the top, because it's going to multiply that damage. It's multiplicative. So if you level up this to level 3, it's going to give you a 20% chance to actually trigger this. Critical Hit, definitely one you guys should definitely be considering if you haven't considered it already. The next one I want to talk to you guys is called Smitting. This increases the damage against the undead. This one's really good, but you have to know how to pair this with your enchantments. If you don't pair them correctly, it can't be that great. But if you do pair it correctly, it's actually going to be pretty good. You're going to be able to do this all the way up to plus 40, which is going to increase your damage, which makes it really good. Another one that works really good is called Weakening. Your attack decreases the attack damage for all nearby enemies for a few seconds. If you get this all the way to max level 3, it's going to give you a negative 40 reduced damage. Really good, especially paired with certain enchantments. It's actually going to be very viable. Not S tier for my opinion, but it's still a really good one, and one should you consider if you don't have anything else to put in it. Another one that works really good is called Committed. It says deals increased damage against already wounded enemies. Really effective if you guys are using my strategy of shooting the bow, the poisonous cloud first, because the enemies are already going to be damaged, and that's going to increase the damage against the wounded enemies from 0 to all the way to 100 if you get this to level level 3. So really good paired with the right build, especially with that bow and that poison. Oof, it is deadly. The last one I want to mention, and this one actually works really good, especially if you're going to be doing a melee build or you're running gauntlets. Gravity's actually pretty good. What it's going to do, it's really effective when you are running a melee build, especially when you're running against a lot of big mobs or mobs that are spread out, especially those archers. Gravity's going to allow you to pull those together and do a lot of damage. So really good and really effective, because this last 2 seconds once you level this up, really important. And there you guys have it. That is pretty much my best enchantments guide video. If there's an enchantment that you think should have been on this list, let me know in the comment section down below, but I want to know why as well. So please let me know. I did hope you guys find this video helpful and informative. If you did, do me a huge favor, guys. Drop a like, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to check out my best artifact video to help you guys decide what you should dismantle and what you should keep. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next video.